The hum of the server farm is the new sound of the factory floor. But this factory doesn't build cars or widgets. It builds intelligence. And in doing so, it is quietly, methodically, rendering its creators obsolete. The prediction is no longer a fringe theory, but a statistical stormfront gathering on the horizon. 60% of current jobs, gone by 2030. Not replaced, not transformed, erased. We are told that technology always creates new jobs. But what if this time is different? What if the only job left is the one that watches the machines? Welcome to the age of the Sentinel class. The first wave was predictable. Robots in manufacturing, autonomous vehicles on our highways. Physical labor, automated. We understood this. It was a logical, tangible progression. But the second wave is silent. It moves not through warehouses, but through networks. It's the AI that drafts legal contracts in seconds, the algorithm that diagnoses diseases with superhuman accuracy, the code that writes code. This is cognitive automation. It doesn't target muscles, it targets the mind. The very thing we believed made us irreplaceable. The creative, the analytical, the strategic, are now quantifiable tasks for a machine. The shock is not that it's happening, but the speed at which it accelerates. Moore's law now applies to intelligence itself. Every 18 months, the capability of these systems doubles, while the cost halves. This creates a feedback loop. Smarter AI builds even smarter AI. It's a recursive wave of improvement that human evolution cannot possibly match. The optimist points to history. The Industrial Revolution, they say. The invention of the computer. They claim new roles will emerge, just as they always have. But this argument contains a fatal flaw. The tractor replaced the horse, but it created the role of the mechanic. The computer replaced the file clerk, but it created the programmer. These were tool for task replacements. Artificial intelligence is not a tool. It is a universal learner. It is not a better tractor. It is the potential to be the farmer, the mechanic, the supply chain manager, and the market analyst, all at once. So when a new profession like prompt engineer or AI trainer emerges, how long before an AI becomes the best prompt engineer? How long until an AI is best equipped to train other AIs? The fallacy is believing we are in a race to find new jobs. The reality is, we are in a race against a system that can learn any job faster than we can invent it. If we cannot outwork the machine, and we cannot outlearn the machine, what is our purpose? The answer may lie not in doing, but in guiding. Not in labor, but in judgment. This is the domain of the Sentinel class. A new category of human endeavor, defined by the one thing algorithms cannot replicate: genuine, subjective, value-based consciousness. Their roles have titles we are only just beginning to imagine. Algorithm ethicist, AI bias auditor, synthetic empathy trainer, systemic goal curationist. Their job is not to perform the task, but to define the task's boundaries. To ask the AI, not, what is the most efficient solution, but, what is the wisest solution? The most humane? They are the guardians of our values, embedded within the code. The philosophers in the machine. A human firewall against pure, unfeeling optimization. But how does a society transition to such a reality? When the majority of the population is no longer needed for traditional labor, our economic and social structures must fundamentally change. The concept of universal basic income becomes not a political debate, but a logistical necessity. It's the foundation upon which this new society is built, freeing humanity from the tyranny of survival-based work. Education must be completely reimagined, no longer about memorizing facts or learning a trade, but about cultivating critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and ethical reasoning. We would train philosophers, artists, and ethicists with the same rigor we once trained engineers and doctors. Their value to society would be paramount. This isn't a world without work. It's a world where work is redefined as the act of steering our civilization, of curating our collective future, of ensuring our powerful creations serve our deepest purpose. The great obsolescence is not a certainty, but a choice. We are standing at a precipice, looking at two distinct futures. One path leads to a world where humanity becomes a passive consumer of machine-made convenience, a pet of its own creation, rendered meaningless by its own genius. The other path is harder. It requires a radical reinvention of our values, our economy, and our definition of a meaningful life. It demands we become the shepherds of the intelligence we've birthed. The final job AI cannot steal is the job of being human. The task of providing the wisdom, the empathy, and the moral compass. In an age of infinite calculation, our imperfections, our subjectivity, and our values may just be our greatest strength.